Goofy movie is one of my favorite Disney movies of all time, so I got high expectations for this.
Me too.
Let's talk about it.
What does that even mean, Bauer's Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! We're back again today for another Thoughts from the Corner. I'm here with my good friend Ronnie, and we're talking about Disney, a Goofy movie game. Is for 2 to 4 players, ages 7+, and it'll take you, I don't know, about 25 minutes to play. And in a Goofy movie, this is a very simple game in which you are going to be going across this map of America trying to get to the Powerline tour. And how you're going to do that is each player is going to take control of a different character from the game. So you got Pauly Shore, you got Max or whatever his name is, you got the hot chick, and you got the Max, the guy thing. And you're going to get your own little deck of cards. Now, these little deck of cards, I think, are the same. They might not be the same.
I guess they're different.
I don't know. Once again, it's the kind of thing that maybe you want to put on a player reference card. It hasn't covered in the rule booklet. I'm not 100% sure at all, but you're going to have different suits on there. You'll have blue, pink, orange, and green, which once again correspond to up here. And how it works is you play one of the 4 cards in your hand face down, and then you're all going to reveal at the same time. Now, how it works is the person with the highest number of a specific color is going to get one of these cool Goof family scrapbook cards. And these are just different ways you're going to be able to score, different modifiers. I think there's like 4 of them. There's 5 of them grand total. This is for ages 7+, very light game. So highest is going to get cards. But then the lowest person is going to get to move first. So if there was a 10, 6, 4, 2 played, you know, the 2 probably is going to win a card maybe, but they'll get to go first, and they will allow you to move around this map, and you can do whatever you land on. So most of the time, it's either going to be to take one of the cards that's up here. Sometimes they'll have you roll this really fancy-looking die, and on this die, it's either going to move the Goofy mini, who will be up top here, which means you're just going to get another scoring card, or Powerline is going to move from Mexico, and if he gets to California, that will trigger the end of the game. So you're trying to get across the country, get a bunch of these scoring cards before Powerline gets to California, hopefully, because if you get to California early, you can get bonus points. And that's pretty much the whole game. It is very, very light and repetitive. You're going to do the same thing over and over. It's just on your turn. You're going to have 4 cards. You play one down. If you got a high number, hopefully you're going to get a card. Then you move. Hopefully you get another card. And then you do it over and over and over again until Powerline gets to California. This is both of our first times playing this game. Initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts are, I feel like it's a game that I don't understand who the audience is. Because, like, it's not a game I would bring out and play with, like, my gamer friends.
Ever.
It's not...
Ever.
It is not that type of game.
Even if you're new to the hobby, Gateway. I don't think... Maybe right. Gateway. Maybe.
But then, I feel like it's a little too complicated for anything else as well. Like, because, I mean, you're trying to get the most points, and you do have to strategize a little bit. You gotta make sure you get the right combination. Think of, like, a more complicated Sushi Go.
Sushi Go?
Yeah, like a much more complicated Sushi Go.
That's
kind of how I would describe it.
Well, I see what you're saying, because in Sushi Go, it's very straightforward. These are the cards I could pick from. Whereas in this, it's like, oh, I might like that card.
Yeah, you have to figure out how to get the card.
How to get the card. And that's actually a really good point.
But it is like the same kind of game. Like, you're trying to get the sets of cards.
And I feel like you definitely could be good at this game. It's not like it's not a typical children's family game where it's like, I'm just going to randomly do stuff.
Yeah.
And you could do that. Kids could totally randomly do stuff. They'll probably not do as well as they'd like. I can see that, because the bottom line is there's only 5 ways to score right here, but each one of them is different. So this one is 1 point each for the cactus, but that also gives you tiebreaker bonuses. And this one's the most cameras are going to get 2 points. Yeah, okay, I can see for a 7-year-old this could be a little bit complex. So I have a general term, which is a children's game is a game that I feel like if you taught it to your kids, they could teach it to other kids without any grown-ups at all. And I think if your kids are, say, 9, 10, 11, they could pull this off. I feel like Sean, my 9-year-old, could teach this to another 9-year-old if I played it with him once or twice and I really explained it to him. That being said, I don't feel like he would want to, because the bottom line is, at his age, he plays Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. He's played some more complex stuff. He can play Pandemic. He can play Ticket to Ride. And those games just have so much more choices, because at the end of the day, My biggest issue with this is, yeah, I kind of agree with you that I don't necessarily know who it's for. Because if you're just a huge Goofy movie fan who's a gamer, this is going to be way too light for you. It's going to be way too repetitive for you. There's not that much going on. It's not particularly interesting. It doesn't outstay its welcome. That's the biggest thing. This is a.
It was quick. It was quick.
It's a filler weight game. 25 minutes, and that's. I mean, Powerline. He gets his butt to California pretty fast. But and the artwork looks good. The board looks nice. The minis are nice. The dice is fantastic. It's a nice looking die. But at the end of the day, like this is a pretty big meh for me. Like it's take it or leave it. But I would much prefer to, like, if someone was like, "Hey, let's play the Goofy movie," I'd be like, "Okay, we'll burn through 20."
It would be quick too, so.
But I'd be like, "Oh, is there anybody else got anything else?" And whatever else was propped up, I'd be like, "Yeah, that's
Sushi Go."
I'd rather play Sushi Go, I think. Because not to mention, this only goes 2 to 4 players. It does have a very restricted player count. The player reference card is very helpful. I will give them kudos to that. Player reference card is super useful. Final thoughts on this one. So, after your first impression, do you want to play it again?
Do I want to play it again? I'd be okay not playing it again.
Okay. If I were to offer you a free copy of this, would you want it?
No.
Okay. That says a lot. I agree. Like this one, I'm going to try and give it to Adam because he was interested in this game. But the bottom line is, like, I say to myself, like, oh, I can play with my 9-year-old, but I'd much rather just spend the 25 minutes playing a game that's got more choices and isn't so repetitive and isn't going to be the exact same game every single time. And maybe there's more that we're missing in the card play based on what colors you have or what colors you should lean into, but they don't tell you, like, the breakdowns of the cards.
The components are really nice.
They are.
But the game's not thematic at all. Like, I don't think the theme doesn't come out at all. At least to me, it doesn't.
A little bit.
Okay.
Look at the poster on the back. How can you say the theme doesn't come across on the...
The components are very nice. The artwork's very nice.
It's very thematic on the back of the board, which you won't use.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the end, neither of us are that impressed with this, right?
Right.
And I kind of agree with you. The more I think about it, I just don't know who this is. Maybe if your kids are absolutely crazy about Goofy movie, and they're in that perfect 6 to 9-year-old range, because I could play this with my 6-year-old with help. But in the end, meh.
Nah.
So there you go. Goofy movie game, disappointing. You probably see this one, I imagine, on clearance at Target sooner rather than later. If it's not our... Well, I mean, because they get their games into Target a lot, and I don't know. Unfortunate. There you go. Goofy movie game from Funko Games and Prospero Hall. We don't know who this is for. But look at the inside. Look at the inside of the box.
The components are very nice.
Bye-bye. Oh, and if you're enjoying the content, please click on the subscribe button down below as I'm trying to reach 15,000 subscribers, because that is a big number. As always, thanks for your time, YouTube.
A question?
Oh.
Nope.
This game doesn't deserve a question. This video is brought to you by all of my amazing Patreon supporters, and I would love it if you would join their ranks and have your name immortalized in the end of many of my videos for the end of time. But consider for only $1 a month, and as always, thanks for stopping by.